This episode of Let's Discuss Death Battle is brought to you by Customer Service Robots. If you would like to get more info about the thing you're calling about, please press 1. If you would like to tell me to shut the fuck up because I'm a useless piece of software, please like this video. Hello one and all, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Discuss Death Battle. I am your only mate. With me as always is Richard.
Clever thing to say here.
And Jaru.
Everything I say is clever.
And... you know, we recorded together. You'd think I remember.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm sorry.
We
Bill's
did that
back.
skit once, we're not doing it again.
Bill's back, everybody.
I'm Young the Insane's friend. I'm not famous, but she is compared to me. Is that an intro?
Hey, good job.
10 out of 10.
I wasn't even planning to do
Alright.
that. It just came to me like as I was about to say your name.
That was mean, man.
I'm
sipping
sorry.
a tea right now. You should never upset a British man when he's drinking a tea.
Hey, I'm British as well.
You still make
Then
my
you
tea
should know
sweeter.
better.
Yes.
I'm not drinking tea. I'm drinking a Coke.
I'm drinking orange soda from Walmart.
I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Man, we're just being all the stereotypes, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fuck stereotypes. There's our title, by the way.
Okay, fuck stereotypes.
Don't conclude that too soon. We still got a whole podcast of bullshit.
Yeah,
to
true.
say.
Who knows?
That's true, yeah.
I still say we should have called the last episode Screw You, Billy.
Yeah, I guess,
Um,
but...
So what are we talking about?
Well, a death battle came out, and it was Deadpool versus The Mask.
Yes.
I've heard of this Deadpool versus the Mask.
I only watched it once and have watched no reactions, so that should tell you the consistency of my opinion on it.
He obviously loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
So...
Can we just talk about the most recent epic rap battle instead? Because I liked that a lot.
Oh yeah, Joker versus Pennywise, that was amazing.
It was my favorite rap battle yet.
Okay, we're not
Yes.
doing a death battle podcast anymore. We're now doing epic rap battles of history podcast.
I would not be opposed to that. That's, you know, that's...
Okay, I'm just gonna... Level Wiki, the only real thing I know about Epic Rap Battles of History is the YouTube movie reviewer I like called The Unusual Suspect edits some of them.
Oh,
that's
okay.
neat.
Yeah, I thought you were going to
So-
say you only know of the Goku and Superman one.
Oh no, a friend of mine at work recommended that to me at one point. But anyway, so Deadpool and the Mask, the
A
third,
much better video to talk about.
the third Deadpool episode.
Yes.
I mean, technically, it is the 6th episode.
No,
Because
that'd be the 5th if you're counting the cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, it would be the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this is my least favorite Deadpool death battle.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like, even more so than Pinkie Pie.
Explain yourself.
All right. I've said this before, but disappointment is such a powerful force. If you are disappointed in something, you will dislike it much more than something that is legitimately, like, objectively worse. There are worse death battles than Deadpool versus the Mask, but there are very few that were as disappointing. I was expecting something like Deadpool versus Deathstroke or Deadpool or Lobo versus the Mask. I was expecting over-the-top, cartoonish violence nonstop. What I got was Three Stooges, and not even very funny Three Stooges. So, yeah, the disappointment. What's that one GIF?
GIF.
My disappointment. Shut the fuck up. My disappointment is immeasurable in my daily.
Oh, I
That-
thought you were going to say, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad.
That too. But yeah, I just I was expecting much more. And like some people be like, how could you like this more less than Pinkie Pie's? But with Pinkie Pie, I had no expectations. I was like, this is going to be a joke, clearly, and it was. And
I
so
had the
there was
exact-
no
I had the exact
disappointment.
same expectations for Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, and so there was no disappointment. It was in fact, I actually think for what it is, Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie gets a lot of points for just being so creative and unique. That said, there was I said at one point on Twitter that the reason I could drastically enjoy Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie turning the whole thing into a joke, but not enjoy it for Deadpool versus the Mask, is because it doesn't make sense for Deadpool versus the Mask. For Pinkie Pie and Deadpool, it made sense that they'd cancel out the fight because that's who they are. But with Deadpool and the Mask, it doesn't make sense. They would fight to the death nonstop. The Mask doesn't engage in this sort of absurdist hijinks in his comics. He is constantly causing horrific violence. Like,
I don't mean to interrupt you. I think the reason they probably did that was that they wanted to go with more the movie sort of jokes.
I was just going to say, yeah.
More people are familiar with the Mask with the Jim Carrey movie than they are with the comics, which I actually agree, like, this Mask is not like the comic books at all.
No, and that's kind of a contradiction. I will give Jaru that. This Mask does feel like a huge contradiction, because they did say that they were exclusively sticking with the comics, but the animation clearly did not represent the Mask from the comics. It's straight up Jim Carrey Mask from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's comical, it's goofy, it's like the Return of the Mask levels of not very violent. Where, like, at least like, he doesn't act like the psychopathic murderer that he is almost at all. And yeah, so in short, I was expecting violence, not Three Stooges, and I didn't get that, so I was disappointed.
Aww.
I must disagree. While I understand people's disappointment, like Jaru, I went into this fully expecting Three Stooges, because even though they said they were going to stick with the comic iteration of the Mask, they knew that when it came to the animation portion, it had to be Jim Carrey Mask. Levels of shenanigans. Therefore, that kind of sets up already what you're getting yourself into. And I had my only expectations and my only predictions for this. It was going to be crazy and wacky, and in that area, did not disappoint. I think it's one of the best penultimate episodes we've had in a while, even more than Roshi versus Jiraiya. Fight me on that, but I do agree in terms of the humor. I do think Pinkie Pie versus Deadpool had better humor. Like, there wasn't that much quotable lines except the Majora's Mistake or the
That's my
penis
favorite
metaphor.
line.
Yeah, but other than that, it felt like, I don't know. And I also can agree that the live action segments, while good, did unfortunately take away from this awesome animation done by the Rooster Teeth team.
They did kind of overdo the live action bit. I feel like they just showed them going to the door, threatening to go to gun. He just threw the money. That would have been fine.
Yeah, like, they spent...
I guess, yeah, maybe that, and then having a bit more animation. Like, that probably would have helped a bit.
Yes, I get it. 2D animation costs money. We get it. That's a joke that is very easy to grasp, but I do think they went too long focusing on them trying to get the budget back just to finish their fight.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that the humor in Death Battle is its weakest element, and they made an entire episode with little to nothing else except humor. And so, needless to say, it was not my cup of tea.
No, yeah, absolutely. I still enjoyed it, though. The animation, the voice acting, the ending, the music, all of it was good. It's just the problem was it was kind of put in this situation. It could either be a joke fight or it could be a debate. And it was constantly fighting back and forth on what it wanted to really be. So I do love it, but I'm not afraid to call it out on its flaws. And I do agree that it wasn't what everyone was expecting. I think if they would have went with more of a Lobo and Mask type of feel, I think this would have been even more amazing. But I was quite content with what I was presented with.
I don't use the word cringe very often because it's overused on the internet.
Yes, of course.
The live action segment was cringe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I looked away from the screen because it hurt me to see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have anything to do with me preferring animation to live action. It was literally just, it hurt me to watch. They didn't even get a mask for the guy pretending to be the Mask. It was just some
I'm surprised he wasn't wearing a yellow suit.
Yeah, that's another disappointment.
Yeah, it's like they didn't even put on full-blown costume.
Remember how they were talking about Stan Ipkiss, the animation? Who's Stan Ipkiss? It probably just fell on some random dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if we're being objective, there are many death battles that are worse than this. Like, there are matches with trash animation, terrible music, terrible writing, like just low budget, not very good jokes. Like, there are ones that are objectively worse. Subjectively, this is one of my least favorite death battles of all time.
Can I ask something?
Go ahead.
Would you say Captain Marvel vs. Shazam was better than this episode?
Oh.
I want to hear it, Jaru.
Yes.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yes.
We got it here, folks.
Yes.
At least that was a death battle. This wasn't. It wasn't a death. It wasn't a battle.
It had a death.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Yeah. The death was my, hopes and dreams. That was what died.
No.
Wow.
Actually did die because everyone just assumed, okay, the Mask and Deadpool, they're just going to be friends. They're going to repeat the same stuff they did with Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. And they didn't do that. The Mask actually killed Deadpool, but then it was ruined because everybody knew Deadpool was going to come back. So it kind of undercuts the death portion of Death Battle because
it's almost like this whole thing was a big joke.
Yeah, yes, which again, they said that from what they were saying, I thought this was going to be a serious fight, and I got some of that, but then it's just undercut by, okay, Deadpool's back. It's like, okay, well, what was the point? It's like, what was the point of killing him off? You would have been just better off not having him die at all. It would have been false advertising, like I said, and it would have greatly disappointed me, but at least you would have stuck to your guns.
Allow me to take a moment, because, I want to, as subjective as my opinions and experience was, and again, subjectively, one of my least favorite episodes ever, but objectively, there's some things I can praise. The animation was pretty good. There were some jokes that did land. Like, don't get me wrong, while I'm not a big fan of modern death battle comedy, there was so much of it in this episode that some of them jokes had to land, and they did. Deadpool starting off by saying there's only so much money they couldn't show the events leading up to him going after the Mask because there's not enough animation budget was funny.
Yes,
that was.
In theory, the idea of them running out of animation budget halfway through the fight was a funny concept.
Yeah, and then being in the storyboards, I liked that.
Yeah,
those weren't creative.
Those weren't even made just as a piss take. Those were the legit storyboards.
Yeah, I know that.
And to be clear, there was a lot of creativity in this episode. Like the idea of starting off in animated and then running out of budget and having to go to live action and then coming back and etc. Like that is creative. It is a level of creativity that I normally don't expect from Death Battle, and I can appreciate that.
This does mean that Deadpool now has a record for Death Battle.
Yes, but appearing in 3D, 2D, hand drawn, and live action.
Yeah, thanks for stealing the point I was going to make.
Yeah, I think that's what
You're
Mark was
welcome.
trying to say, but you just kept talking over him.
It's what I.
And he, yeah, man. But yeah, so like there was some like there was creative. There was a few jokes that worked. Voice acting was pretty okay. I think probably my favorite part of the episode overall was Wiz being like, "Here you can see him standing upright." Like that was
the
very clever. Like
Yes.
normally the death battle humor is very like
Hit
not
or
very
miss.
funny.
Okay, well, yeah.
Like they tend to do repeat old like very basic jokes, but that was a very unique joke. It was awesome. I enjoyed it a lot because it was so unique to Death Battle. Nowhere else could you make that joke. Like it's an ironic spin on the normal analysis. Like, and I appreciated that. That was an actual legitimately funny. That was probably the funniest joke I've seen on Death Battle in a while, just because it was so unique.
Agreed.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, and don't get me wrong, like the 2D animation was really good when it was happening.
Yes.
For all 30 seconds of it. And when there was an actual fight happening for all like 15 seconds of it, it was pretty fun.
It was, yes. I agree with you. I think this is probably the most creative Deadpool episode because of where it goes and how many genres and just overall where it stacks up. But yes.
I think Pinkie Pie is still a bit more cohesive.
Yes.
But I can appreciate that there are some quality elements to this episode.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, if you've seen my tier list template, I ranked Deadpool vs. the Mask as one of my most wanted fights of all time. So I had a lot of high expectations.
That's completely understandable. If they were going to have this fight be the way it was, then a better substitute would have just been have the Mask fight Freakazoid, because this totally makes sense for those two to do these type of things. But having Deadpool tag along, it kind of undercut some of that, because Deadpool is not a cartoon wacky character. He
makes jokes, but he's also a mercenary killer who's the majority of his comics is him fighting people to the death.
Yeah.
So he's not nearly as wacky hijinks as he is portrayed in Death Battle.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, so it was it was one of my most wanted. I was imagining an amazing, over-the-top, violent spectacle sport fight with some clever jokes thrown in, and I didn't really get that, so it was a bit disappointing for me. But that's just me. If anyone else wants to weigh in.
I guess I'll combine what I thought with a little explanation. Honestly, in terms of like the best Deadpool episode, I actually struggled to decide which is better between this and Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie. But I think I would rate Pinkie Pie a bit higher. Not to say I thought this episode was bad by any means, it's just I think I just genuinely enjoyed Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie a bit more. But
yeah.
Can we all agree, in terms of just Deadpool episodes, Deadpool vs. Deathstroke is still king?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we're talking about, like... Because it's funny. Like, if we're talking about which episode is the best death battle, arguably Deadpool versus the Deathstroke is the only legitimate Deadpool death battle that we've had. The other two were...
Meme
jokes, really, more than anything.
Yeah, it's Meme Pool, kinda Deadpool versus this character.
Yeah. As you're saying.
But yeah, also the hand-drawn stuff was really well done. I expect nothing less from Rooster Teeth's 2D team, and now that Death Battle and the 2D department at Rooster Teeth have merged, then it seems like they'll be helping each other out in future productions. Like, I was listening to Death Battle Cast, and one of the lead animators in that department was blown away by how much like effects and assets that the Death Battle team had.
Huh.
So this could lead to like great stuff. Rooster Teeth shows as like, well, like Camp Camp, Nomad of Nowhere, if that's even coming back.
It's not.
Probably not.
Actually, I've heard some rumors they have been talking about it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would actually love a season 2. I actually thought that show's underrated.
Agreed. Yes. Well, I mean, if it leads
You just
to...
made a joke saying, "Oh, it's not coming back," haha. Now you're saying, "Oh, no, it is underrated."
Yeah.
Make up your mind. Do you like it or do you not like it?
I do like it. But that doesn't mean I can't make a joke about it.
Anyway,
That confused me.
so yeah, that, and who knows, maybe more hand-drawn death battles in the future. Like, hey, perhaps this could help Mickey versus Bugs happening.
Well, I definitely think that these assets will be used in that fight, but I'm not expecting to see a lot of 2D hand-drawn fights because, God, those take forever to put out.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect...
Not that they're really expensive as well. Like, as much as people like to try and say, "Oh, why don't they do hand-drawn animations more?" It's like, one frame could cost nearly over $50.
Yeah,
No, I'm not trying to say they'll go 2D sprites, hand-drawn, 3D models, 2D sprites, hand-drawn, 3D models, anything like that, no, but...
Just say goodbye to Death Battle, then they'll have to, like, put that show off for, like, 3 years before doing another season.
Yeah, I'm just saying a bit more often than it has been.
I'd say save it for, like, special episodes, like, for instance, Mickey versus Bugs Bunny, or maybe The Mask versus Beetlejuice.
It's possible, yeah.
Maybe they can make up for this shit show by doing that.
They better bring the Mask back to fight Beetlejuice and Freakazoid because I think those are better alternatives than this.
Is it weird that after the Majora's Mistake line, I was actually thinking about the Mask versus Majora's Mask?
So just
That's
both
an interesting
Mask, yeah, both Mask fight each other.
Well, obviously it would be like Stan Lee wearing the mask versus Skull Kid wearing Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an interesting one.
It would, but
I don't know who'd win that actually.
Anyway,
No, the Mask would win that. That's a stomp.
Nah, I think Majora is more powerful than people realize.
Oh, you and your freaking Zelda logic of thinking every Zelda character is more powerful.
Well, I'm right because Majora created an entire universe, but you know that's
Okay, that's a debate for another day.
anyway,
Nah, debate. It's fact.
okay,
Moving on.
we've been through this.
This ain't over, Jaru. This ain't over.
But yeah, now I should probably explain a little something. Why did I not post a reaction to this episode?
yeah, where the hell was your reaction?
Well, my reaction was shit. Like, I looked at my reaction, I was too quiet for certain parts, and honestly, like, the whole time I was watching it, I'm just like, oh, God, this is bad. And...
You didn't do another take?
No.
That probably would have helped.
Wait, you really just sat there in silence for all the wacky stuff that was going on?
Well, not... Well, for a large majority of it, I just wasn't proud of it and thought, you know what, I'm just not posting it. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but like I spent a couple days just really in a shitty mood because that seemed like the best option.
Okay, well,
if I record a reaction and I'm not proud of it, or I just think the reaction just came out terrible, then I'm not going to post it. And I have done that before, like with Ruby Abridged, and I think there was something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. I just thought, this is terrible, so I'm not gonna post it. And I mean my reaction, not the actual content. But it's fine with stuff like that, because hardly anyone watches those, but Death Battle is like the thing people watch my channel for. So not doing it for that, just... It just didn't feel good. I felt like I was letting down everyone.
Okay. Well, you know, again, you know, you're only human, but as a retired reactor, you know, and as all reactors know, if you have one bad take, do another take.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the point of a reaction because you're reacting to the thing the first time?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but whenever you're reacting, you have to have some kind of charisma. You have to show you can act and really be into what you're doing, but that's not going to be there immediately in the first take. This is advice I've passed down to everyone. If you're going to go down the path of reactions, do not do one take. Don't just be like, this take's good, and then it's
So
shit.
you're saying people should fake their reactions?
No, I'm saying
It does kind of
that-
sound like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you want the best quality and if you want to put something out there that you can be proud of and your subscribers will like, don't be afraid to do it again and try and really reach down to grab out that enthusiasm that you have for something that you're reacting to, because then that's just going to lead you to doing the same thing again and again and again and again. This is why my reactions, I'm not trying to brag, because in all honesty, my reactions were good by my standards, but this is why they always were the way they were. I never did one take. I always did multiple takes.
I fucking knew it.
And
So all those times you got shocked over the next time, you knew that was the next time?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I never did that. I just went back, recorded the intro and my reaction to the fight, and then I would just keep the reaction I have deep down inside of me for the next time. It's good, but that's my advice, to anybody who went through something Mate went through. If you have a shit reaction, don't be afraid to do it again. Don't be afraid to do multiple takes and try and find the right one. It doesn't matter if it's faking, because who the hell cares if it's faking? Your subscribers will watch reactions and not give a crap about whether you're faking it or not.
Or
Yeah,
they'll,
that's actually a good point. At the end of the day, as long as people get their hyper reaction, they don't care.
Yes. And
or they'll watch a reaction and then complain that the reactor is talking over the original content.
Well,
Like a
their
bunch of
subscribers-
morons. Take
Yeah, but-
that, people who commented that on Amber's videos.
don't throw Duo Dreamer out. He got a rant video on him.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, there's a rant video. I know we're breaking this up, but I know we're going off topic, but there's some idiot who did a rant video on Duo Dreamer and is reacting and saying, this is how stupid Duo Dreamer is. He talks every time. I can't even hear the video.
That sounds like perfect feeding the trolls material.
Do you know what? If this person's watching this video, react to this podcast and complain about how we go off topic so much. I'll watch that.
I will. I'll watch it. I'll
Oh.
make fun of you, and then I'll put it on my channel.
So you'll react to him reacting to us.
No, of course not. Because
Aw,
I'm
getting
retired.
that's what you're
weird.
doing.
Hey, it's no weirder than Death Battle's podcast.
That's a good point. Those guys are weird.
They are more weirder than we could ever be.
But yeah, no, I agree with Richard though. I think it's totally fine to radio reaction, especially with something like Death Battle, because you can miss so many things in a Death Battle.
Of course.
There's things you'll only see the third time viewing. So doing a second reaction, not a big deal, because there's still going to be plenty of things you missed or didn't notice that you will have fresh reactions to. So I think it's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
You heard that, reactors? Make as many fake reactions as you can. If you weren't as hyper as the first one, do it again.
It ain't
I mean,
fake.
you don't have to lie to your viewers. I mean, you can be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but you know, I think you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't think you only have one chance to react.
No.
Should we call this episode Take 2?
Yes.
We already
We've done
did
that
that.
before.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you guys?
Yes, the one with Nick on.
Oh, damn it.
Reactions. Take 2.
Anyway, back to Deadpool versus the Mask.
Yes, of course.
Does anyone else have anything they want to say about it?
What about
I
you,
mean,
Bill?
I was gonna wait till Mate gave his full opinion on the episode, then I was gonna give my thoughts,
I'm
because it's gonna be
basically done.
drastically different, probably.
Okay. He said he's done.
Are you
So-
sure, Mate?
Yeah.
Are you sure he's sure?
Bill has forfeit his chance to talk. Moving on.
Oh, damn it.
You know what? Let's do that.
Yeah,
So that's season finale.
Yeah, no. Bill, what are your thoughts?
I thought
Enlighten us.
this episode was fan-fucking-tastic.
Okay, good. I'm not alone here. Thank you.
Do you know what, Jaru? I've probably found a new episode to annoy you with than Captain Marvel vs. Shazam. I feel like this episode was the best episode this season.
The best thing about this episode is that it made Captain Marvel vs. Shazam look better.
Oh.
It's not even fun to use that against you anymore because then it'll be like, oh wait, but the Marvel vs. Deadpool. Damn it!
Me.
Is this how it felt to be you last episode?
That's how it feels to be me every episode.
Oh.
But okay, and something that's probably going to annoy Joe even more. I thought the humor, it had me in stitches.
Yeah, of course. To each of their own. Comedy is very subjective.
I mean, to address the annoyance, so I was kind of annoyed they didn't show the more sadistic side of the mask. You know, I would have loved it if, like, I don't know, he made some, like, sick humor, because he's made jokes when he's been, like, killed people before. Like, when he nuked a wedding, he was just like, I love weddings. You know, I would have liked it if he made a joke after blowing up Deadpool, like, ooh, you really blew the punchline there, Paul. Or something. That was just on the spot idea, but I would have liked it if he made more like sadistic jokes. Like when he got decapitated, rather than going, "Woo, what a ride!" He should have been like, "Oh, I gotta keep my head in the game," you know. Unlike you at the end of this.
Wow, that is great.
Actually,
that's awesome. All those lines, perfect.
In fact, you know, one thing I'm really annoyed by that they didn't.
Hire Bill next time you want to do a
like
mask
I said last episode, forget Ben and Chad. I'll direct everything. I'll direct the writing. I'll do the screenplay.
You'll take Liam's script and you're like, here, give me that. I'm gonna George Lucas this shit.
With a crayon, not even a proper pen, just a crayon. And it's like, this is just pictures of mostly dicks.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
You'll be able to encode it.
You don't appreciate my artistic vision.
No, yes. My artistic liberties will save Death Battle.
I tell you, I'll get more of my negatives out of the way. The ending to the episode was completely rubbish. Like, oh, we just brought Deadpool back because it's like, if it ended with them crying over Deadpool after the letter, that's perfect. It's kind of like a bittersweet ending. It's like, oh, they finally got rid of Deadpool, but they feel empty inside because they made a spite fight, which that's even something Ben has said he doesn't like. He doesn't like spite fights. That's why he hates a lot of DeviantArt death battles, because it's like a lot of the time they do spite fights. I saw one where it was like Ragnar the Blood Edge versus Yang. It's like, and the guy even said, "Oh, I just wanted to do it because I wanted Ragnar to win and Yang to lose." It's like, then you shouldn't be doing death battle because the whole point is to find debates.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So if this episode was meant to be like a parody of that, and it showed how Wiz and Boomstick felt at the end of it, that would have been perfect.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with you.
But because they brought Deadpool back, it kind of defeated the message.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And once again, it kind of undercuts the advertising that the characters were setting up. We're going to get rid of Deadpool once and for all. He's back. Nothing happened.
So it completely eliminated the entire theme and joke of the episode.
Though I am partly cool with Deadpool being back just because it still gives me some hope for Deadpool versus Dante being a thing one day.
I don't think they'll bring Deadpool back anytime soon.
If they're not going to bring back Batman anytime soon, any more MLP characters anytime soon, I don't think they're going to bring Meanpool back again.
Probably not.
My other big complaint... Okay, this is a nitpick, actually.
No, go ahead.
I was really disappointed Mars didn't say, "You're a good kid, real good. But compared to me, you'll always be second best."
Which is true.
Like, yeah, that's fitting for the Mars because he came before Deadpool and, you know, he killed Deadpool in the episode. So it's like, it's fitting, you know, he makes a movie quote. And considering that a lot of his lines were movie quotes, why not have the most funniest one?
I agree.
Or even when he blew him up, he goes, "That's a spicy meatball." I don't know, just one of those lines would have been, instead of him just going laughing like the Joker, like, "I won." It's like, no, okay. That's your ending quote, just...
Yeah, who's
that's
next?
lame. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he said, "Who's next?" It's like, that's lame.
Yeah.
Like, the Mask should have had a much more funnier line. But aside that, the episode was fantastic. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10.
It's funny because as we're recording this, my review is going to go up live, and it's going to completely make Jaru angry for what I give it.
I don't get angry at people for
I know.
opinions.
I wouldn't side with Jaru on one bit. I do agree about the live action fight. It did kind of get cringe-worthy at points.
Yeah,
Like I
feel
said,
like
even at the beginning, if they just had it, first they tried to be nice to the rich guy, but then Deadpool's threatening the guy, that would have been fine, and then the guy would have been like, okay, just take the money, just leave me alone.
yeah, and then
Instead
boom.
it's like, we're going to do our own bootleg shampoo. Let's do a Fortnite stream. Let's gamble, Dorado. Let's just look around the couch. It's like, all right, we got the money now. They wasted nearly a whole minute.
That wasn't Gerardo.
Gerard, I don't give a shit. The point is,
It was wasted.
yeah, and they could have done so much with the live action. Maybe they're trying to get a loan from the bank.
Yes.
Imagine that. So let me get this straight. You want a loan to? We need animation so that we can kill each other. You know, the guys just go, all right. Just to prove, it's simple and funny.
Or you could just basically parody the Family Guy joke of Darth Vader going to the bank. I don't think that'd be a good investment for us. No, we want to open a sports bar. Oh, okay.
No, that's just stealing a joke. Just do something more funny and original.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Don't steal from Family Guy. If you steal from Family Guy, your humor sucks.
Yeah, like you can maybe make fun or maybe even slightly parody it. Maybe even have Darth Vader in the background at the bank. That would have been a nice reference. Maybe.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Yes, they should have done something more like that. Instead, they come off like a parody of a Nostalgia Critic sketch.
Hey, I like Nostalgia Critic.
Oh yeah, sure.
I like Nostalgia Critic. I don't like the Nostalgia Critic sketches.
Yes.
I'm alone on this podcast.
Yeah, you are. But no, you bring up some great points. Again, it's the simple things that can make something so better instead of trying way too hard.
That's the thing. Like, as someone who's writing his own story, I do have some humor aspects, but the problem is sometimes some people think if they drag out the joke or make it longer, it's more funnier. That's not true.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, the best jokes are the ones that just smack you unexpectedly, and then
Yes.
it's like, oh wow, did not see that coming.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the live action, if they just stuck with him threatening the guy, people would have been laughing, but because they dragged it on. A lot of reactions I see, people would lose in their laughter. So it's like, okay, it was funny, but can we get back to the fight now?
Yes.
So all of that aside, the episode was fantastic. It was funny. Deadpool mocking Wiz and Boozled. Wiz and Boozled mocking Deadpool.
Yes.
And also when they brought up a lot of the mask, like crazy views. This is I didn't know he pushed over a building. I was like, whoa, when the hell did he do that? Why was he dressed like Elvis?
It was in a crossover comic.
Probably there isn't that many crossover comics I've read. I've only read the original series, and I think Deadpool versus Lobo, Mask versus Lobo. And that's
Actually,
like
funny you say that.
Times.
Funny you say that. This episode was originally planned to be Deadpool versus Lobo.
Mm.
Oh, that would have been kind of cool.
But
It would have, but Deadpool would have still lost.
yeah, but also they came across the idea of Lobo versus Ghost Rider and wanted to do that.
Okay then. So that's my thoughts. The episode was fantastic. Aside the dragged out live action skits that they did, and maybe the end line was a bit poor for the mask, I thought the episode was good. I'd rank it as number one. Excluding, depends on what happens with the next time.
That's a great segue.
Exactly.
Great. Brought
Anyway,
to you by greatsegue.com.
Our sponsor
So-
for the episode.
Yes.
Anyway, so last episode we tried to predict the season finale. We were all wrong.
Except, no, I definitely called this episode. I mean, I knew it. You can hear secret messages in the background of me doing a Morse code. The
Oh,
episode.
you are so full of shit.
I'm telling you, if you listen, you'll hear Morse code.
True
My
fans
guy
can find
versus
it.
All Might.
Anyway, so we all thought it would be something like Cole versus sorry, Alex versus Cole. Jesus, I almost said Cole versus McGrath.
It's okay.
Galactus versus Unicron. Well, stuff along those lines.
Goku versus Superman 3.
I'm predicting that for next year's finale.
Same here.
Anyway, the finale is here. It is.
No.
It is All Might versus Might Guy.
Woo!
Might
All
squared.
might, all might, all might.
Same.
I'm Might Guy all the way.
Yeah,
Fuck
of
Might
course,
Guy.
Of course you are. Fucking Might Guy.
He's epic. He's
I'm
a
just-
legend.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing epic about a guy who used a dangerous ninja move, died, was resurrected by
Oh.
blonde Jesus over there, and put in a wheelchair.
Okay, well, aside that, he's a cool character. Don't mock my guy.
Oh yeah, that haircut is so cool.
Okay, I had to kind of agree that haircut is
Yes.
actually terrible.
I'm just-
I want. Can we all agree? All Might's mane is beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Again, I am alone this episode.
I'm just throwing this out there. I don't really know much about Might Guy. I've watched My Hero Academia,
Oh.
so I know a decent amount about All Might.
Oh, come on.
I've watched all of the original Naruto, or read all the original Naruto, so
Yeah,
I'm aware of Might Guy.
Yes,
Do you
I have
like him?
seen.
I like him.
Yay, at least I accept it.
I've seen all of the original Naruto, part of Shippuden, but I stopped there and I tried to watch Boruto. It was boring as hell.
The one thing I know
Oh,
about,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
actually, no, I know, I think two things about Might Guy. Didn't he train Rock Lee?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. He did that, and in one of the video games, I can't remember which one it is, and I heard about this on Wolf's podcast a while back. One of Might Guy's supers is he beats the crap out of you, says, "You're such a good person," and then hugs you to death.
yeah.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Mike, that's why I love Mike Guy. He's so random, yet he's brilliant.
So-
Yeah.
He does not fit a lot of the Naruto serious stories.
He really does feel like he should be in another anime series.
Oh,
Anyway, so I'm rooting for All Might. I want
I
All Might to win.
am 100% behind All Might.
All the way on All Might.
I want All Might to win for various reasons.
Okay, list those various reasons.
Because he's awesome.
Break
Well,
my
aside-
curse!
oh yeah.
yes.
We should
Yes.
probably say that's something going against All Might here. Because, for those viewers who aren't aware, I have a curse when it comes to season finales. And that being, my preferred character always loses.
I mean, Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, no one really lost that. So...
No.
Yeah, but I went into that expecting that outcome.
Well, I mean, again, that was kind of
So,
ridiculous.
Anyway.
To
Oh yeah,
expect a winner.
now that I think about it, every single one of those finales has either been like a character that was part of your childhood, mate.
yeah.
Goku,
Goku,
Pokemon.
Pokemon, oh god, Red and Charizard. That was horrible.
That'll be all right.
I,
They'll be
pre-
at the next nearest Pokemon Center.
I preferred Virgil to Sephiroth. He still lost. Thanos.
Okay, why would you want to root for that guy?
Yeah, the bastard just wanted to do what he did so he can get in Def's panties. Why the hell would you root would you root for a character like that?
At least with
Because
Darkseid, he's not planning on destroying the universe.
No.
I know who Thanos was. It was preferred characters. That was the whole point.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
good
that,
point.
and I mostly know Infinity War Thanos.
Yeah, which
Well,
again.
Okay, fair enough. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the comic version. I'm like, do you really?
Well,
wanna
it
like that
doesn't
comic?
matter. Well, see, that's the thing. It was
Point
comic book
is-
Thanos.
Preferred characters always die in
Well,
finales.
I'm sorry to say, mate, your curse is going to carry on.
Like,
Whoa, no. Don't you dare say that. Nobody doubts All Might, because that is something I've noticed. As soon as this was announced, everyone in the Versus community, oh, All Might's screwed. Well, it was nice knowing you, All Might. Well, at least we're going to finally get a My Hero Academia character in. Wow, some MHA fans you are. How dare
Wow,
you
it's
doubt?
almost like Naruto fanboys are infamously biased.
I
Wow.
know.
Are you calling me biased?
You just proved us right.
Okay, that's a good point.
Everyone's biased.
But on
Every
the flip
single
side,
person.
at least I'm not
Right.
going to do something like make a 30-minute debunk video where I don't even point
That's
at anyone.
true. You're not.
I respect you guys' opinions, and I will say All Might is a good character. Even though I was joking, like, oh, my guy's amazing. All Might's a great character. I'm not even going to deny that.
I think we all wish All Might was a real life superhero.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be my dad.
We all want him to be our dads.
Even Gohan wishes All Might was his dad.
Well, that's a good. Yes.
I saw the chance.
I know.
But
okay.
Good.
So yeah, I'm as far as this matchup being the season finale, I don't really think it's season finale worthy. Unless All Might, if All Might wins, it's season finale worthy. Otherwise,
wow.
You're biased now.
Okay. Well, no, he has a point there because
no one gives a shit about Mike Guy. That's why.
Shut up, I do.
more people cared about Sasuke losing than Mike Guy potentially winning. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Well, actually, I disagree. I think no one cared about Sasuke.
Actually, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a brain fart there for a minute. Yeah, you're right. Nobody cared. About Sasuke.
But yeah, I don't know if this is really. It was like if we wanted to have a big, because My Hero Academia is insanely popular right now.
Yes, absolutely, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, in that sense, I could somewhat see this working if you wanted to have a big celebration of My Hero Academia by having a fight where All Might wins.
Yes.
But otherwise, it doesn't really add up much as far as a season finale goes.
You say that, but Deadpool vs. Pinkie Pie was a season finale.
Yeah, and it was a stupid season finale. It was. I said this at the time, and I say it again.
Hey, it was an awesome season finale, so don't you fucking talk about
it. It was a fine episode. It shouldn't have been finale.
Okay, that's better.
Honestly, if we do go back to season 3, I honestly reckon Hulk vs. Doomsday should have been the finale.
Well,
it would have been a more appropriate.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, how awesome would it have been if Dracula versus Ganondorf was the season finale for season 6?
That would have been an appropriate season finale.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, F you.
Okay, no offense to Jaru, I know he's a big fan of Ganon. Comparing All Might and Ganon, All Might is way more loved than Ganon. Like, Ganon is not even that much. He's not even the most popular Nintendo villain, really.
Oh.
No, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that my love of Ganon is universal.
Well, you never know. Maybe aliens love him.
Maybe everyone in the universe loves Ganon except for you guys. And you're the weird one.
Ganon? I was just more biased towards Dracula because I actually played Castlevania and watched Dracula.
I was rooting for Ganon.
Yeah.
He kind of, he was right.
But anyway.
But All Might is just more of a character I would see more worthy of a finale than someone like Ganon.
Well, I think I'd say actually that both of these matchups are equally valid as far as season finale material.
Hell, Dragon Sword versus
the only kind.
Mechagodzilla could have been a good finale choice.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
those are niche fan bases. Whereas everyone's played a Zelda game. Most people are watching My Hero Academia. Like,
okay.
Yeah. But generally, there are matchups that I think would be a little bit more appropriate for season finale.
Speaking of that,
speaking of Ganon vs. Dracula,
GreatSegue.com.
Speaking of Ganon vs. Dracula, keep an eye out for Dracula appearing in this upcoming episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he dies. I want All Might to punch him and him explode.
Dude, okay, if that's how the fight starts off, Mike Guy and All Might are trying to kill Dracula,
that would be amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, what if it starts with Mike Guy fighting Dracula, says, "You're such a good person," and then hugs him to death?
That would be amazing.
And All Might just thinks, "You murdered that man.
You murdered Ganondorf, now it's time for you to die."
I wouldn't think he would say something like that. I think like,
no.
Justice or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so in my opinion, I think Deadpool versus the Mask would have been a good way to end season 6. Or
I think if it had been a good fight, I would have thought it was the best option. For
yes, I also am not against Dracula versus Ganondorf potentially being the season 6 finale, but I do agree with Jaru. I think this fight just has All Might in it because it's a celebration of how far My Hero Academia has come since it debuted, and also that this kind of somewhat intertwines with the second My Hero Academia film that is premiering this month in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then it'll be on the road to be dubbed sometime next year.
That's cool.
Let's celebrate by killing All Might with one of the greatest Naruto characters of all time.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Why is
Let's
everyone
actually
saying
talk
fuck
about
you to me on this show? Why?
I actually, and I mean,
if you're gonna
I'm
say
not gonna
fuck you to Billy, at least say it like Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
I don't even
Actually,
know.
don't say it like that at all.
I don't even know how he says it. So
Yeah, me neither.
You uncultured swines.
I'm not arguing. I am very uncultured.
Yeah, I know. But again,
No.
that just goes to show you. Jaru's point does have so much validity to it, because if you take out All Might and you just have Might Guy, nobody really gives a shit about this episode. I mean, there are some. Okay, fine. To make Billy feel better, there are Might Guy fans that I did see that got excited about this episode, but that's not the majority. The majority of people
That is true.
are more excited for All Might being in here because he was
All
the
Might.
best My Hero Academia character to start with.
Oh, that is,
Well,
that is a sad truth.
considering how he is now.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We will not be
That's actually
discussing
kind of-
spoilers on this podcast.
No,
discussing
there will be.
any. If it isn't, is it? Yeah. Like, and I haven't seen season 4 yet, so don't talk about that either.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
fine.
Okay, but to this kind
but
of goes
let's
to the
actually-
point I kind of brought up in the last episode. If they were going to use All Might in any Death Row, which funny enough was the next one, they're going to have to use him season 3 and 4.
Yeah, well, let's get into
Well, sure.
that, because there's
Yeah.
been a lot of,
Speculation.
Yes, speculation. Okay, as everyone knows, if you've seen My Hero Academia, if you haven't, what in the hell are you doing? Go watch it, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. There's gonna be some spoilers for the first 3 seasons, so
Yes.
if you haven't seen those, then you should probably not be watching this.
And
Yes,
for those who are worried
abs-
about spoilers for Naruto, the show's way old now. You should have at least looked up
And
the story.
don't worry, there's no spoilers involving Mike Guy because he doesn't matter.
Oh,
Exactly, but
Oh my
during
God.
during All Might's career and a last encounter with All for One, he unfortunately received an injury in his stomach region that shortened and dampened his powers for One for All. So every time he uses One for All and goes into his buff form, he can only maintain it for 3 hours. But then in season 2 and 3, he could only maintain it for
God.
90 minutes. What?
Okay,
What?
I don't think that I'm not sure if they'll do this, but you saying that he can only do it for like 3 or so hours. The first
yeah.
thing that popped into my head is Boomstick making a Viagra joke.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, damn it. But yeah, so that is the major concern and speculation. If they're going to take All Might at his best, are they going to leave out the time limit?
I imagine.
reference it.
Well, I
Here's
mean,
the thing.
oh, there
Here's
you go.
my quick hot take, real quick.
No, go ahead.
If they're not doing All Might at his prime, then this is a pointless death battle.
Agreed. Because
Then it won't actually answer anything. Because if Mike Guy wins, people are just like, okay, but if All Might was at his prime, then who would have won? And so it won't.
Yeah.
It won't have settled any debate.
yes, agreed.
Maybe they could do something like say, "Oh, give us 30,000 likes, and we'll do it when he's at his prime."
Yeah. Wow, that'd be pretty weird.
That would, yes.
But don't worry, the viewers get that reference.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you're right. Because, again, if you're not going to add any kind of limitations to Might Guy, but you're going to give one to All Might, that is grossly biased against All Might, in my opinion. And that's not a proper way you can do this matchup by just giving All Might his time limit. Because then, what's the point of even debating this? Because if he has his time limit and he's not in his prime, of course he's going to lose. Because there's no debate.
Admit, if they were to be biased for any one of these characters, it's always going to be for All Might. Because when season 1 of My Hero Academia came on, everyone from Stereotypes was like, "Oh my god, this show's amazing."
This is true.
Plus, practically everyone at Rooster Teeth loves My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and again, remember, Funimation were practically begging Screw Attack to use All Might, and they told them.
Actually, weren't they just on Twitter talking about the idea of All Might fighting someone, and Death Battle responded to them, to which they replied, "No, you already broke our hearts once with Goku vs. Superman."
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think deep down they do want them to do All Might.
It gets better. They also added that gif of Will Ferrell drinking wine and crying on that massage chair.
Yeah. Point is, the point still stands. Everyone at Screw Attack and Rooster Teeth loves All Might. They love My Hero Academia, and
it's one of the best animes of all time.
Absolutely. It is the best anime. It's arguably the greatest anime of the 2010 era.
It's one of the best.
Cory in the House is the best anime of all time.
Screw you.
Nice. I respect the meme.
Yes, but no. I agree. And seeing how they've handled Naruto characters in the past, I don't
all but
think
one of them lose.
2 of them, but whatever.
No, only one of them has won.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Wait. Oh yes.
It's blonde Jesus over there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be that biased or give Might Guy more of the benefit of the doubt than All Might, but that's just my opinion.
£20 says that someone's gonna make a debunk video with a cross in the middle saying like this episode wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
1,000,000%.
Yes.
Even though Might Guy
my
is definitely gonna win.
Okay. No, Might Guy will not win because
he's going to win, you bastard.
Let's actually talk about the fight real quick.
Here's an idea. Okay. Bill, Richard, are you two willing to make the ultimate wager on this?
Go on.
Whoever guesses wrong dies.
No.
Oh, Jesus. No, I'm good.
Damn.
No, the ultimate wager I'm talking about, slap bet.
How are we going to slap each other?
Both go to RTX.
You're assuming Bill's just going to magically have money to go to RTX.
Yeah, I can barely afford to get out of my crummy neighborhood. Do you think I have money to go RTX?
That's a good point.
Okay, let's just go with the classic bet. I'm going for All Might. Bill's going for Might Guy. Whoever wins gets to brag about it on Twitter.
How about that? How about this?
Okay, what do you got?
Actually, I don't know. I thought it would come to my mind like, oh, let me think of something.
No, it's okay.
Wow.
We'll think of something, but yeah, okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm Team All Might, obviously. Bill's Team Might Guy. But Jaru was about to explain some things because we haven't been properly fair.
Yeah, Jaru, you do stuff.
Yeah. All right. 1 second.
Okay.
I got distracted by something.
Okay.
While Jaru gives his point, I'm going to try and think of a win-loss thing for the bet for me and Richard.
This has become an ASMR podcast.
Gross.
We're gonna put you on a sleep.
Okay, I'm putting an end to it.
Okay.
I'm putting an end to that horribleness. But no. Regarding if they don't have them both at their peaks, then I don't think it's not a very interesting episode. But also regarding, because you can make the argument because if spoilers for the end of Naruto, Might Guy's in a wheelchair.
Stop chuckling. I'm offended over that.
Actually, I was talking to someone about this matchup, and we somehow got into the idea of the two characters as they are currently fighting, which unfortunately would just be All Might pushing Might Guy out of his wheelchair and then kicking him.
Oh, why?
I don't really want to see that.
No, I don't want to see. Okay.
I feel bad for saying it too.
Well, yeah,
you
you should. I don't want to see. All Might is too pure of a of a nice guy to just beat the shit out of somebody while they're in a wheelchair. Even if you take over his character traits, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna attack you while you're in this wheelchair. He doesn't even have to do a Detroit smash. But anyway, continue, Jaru.
Sorry, Jaru.
But yeah, so technically, like in the modern day, yeah, like both characters are effectively retired. They're pretty limited in their ability to fight. So you can make the argument that neither one of them should be able to fight at their peak. But I think what they'll do is say Mike at his peak, All Might at his peak, because I think that's just why do this conversation otherwise. And now I think we should actually talk about who you should think will win or should win and why.
Well, I'm not sure if I can really comment because remember my curse.
Well, you should at least just say who you think's gonna win. Like, who do you? Okay, fine. If you don't want to say who you think's gonna win and why that person, who do you want to win?
I want All Might to win. But now that I've said that, my curse is gonna take effect and make him lose.
No. Do not doubt the symbol of peace.
I'm not doubting the symbol of peace. I'm just reminding you I have a curse with finales.
We know,
Like,
but just
you guys shouldn't have brought him
faith.
onto the podcast. He's going to have All Might lose now.
No. I refuse to accept that.
If All Might wins, this might be my favorite finale.
Okay.
Because the curse is broken.
Okay.
All around me are familiar faces.
For one, I actually think, like, I haven't seen... It's been a while since I watched or read Naruto, but based off what I remember, I don't think... I don't think Mike Guy has what it takes to beat All Might.
Excuse me, boy!
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
Well.
let's actually talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
Before we even talk about All Might, I want to talk about Mike Guy. His shtick, much like Rock Lee, is that he doesn't really use any other kind of fighting style except taijutsu. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Taijutsu, which is pure physical combat. Now, what does that mean for his character? Well, it means that he uses something else called the 8 gates. Which, what's the 8 gates? Basically, there's the 8 chakras in the body, which chakra comes from, and by removing his limiters, he can use more chakra than any other one else can
You
normally
can use
out
like
of their body.
Morning Peacock, Daytime Tiger,
Yeah,
and
Each
Night Guy.
peacock-
Night Guy, that's a pun.
yes, it is.
That's brilliant.
It's also kind of badass when you realize it's replacing the word dragon with guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, God.
But yeah, so basically each gate that he unleashes will grant him access to more of his chakra. Normally the human body limits its usage of chakra to 20%, but by unleashing those in order to protect itself, because using more than its 20% will hurt you. So, but through special training, Mike Guy can unlock each one of these chakrams, or gates as he calls them. And each one that he unlocks grants him a boost, and it grants him access to superhuman attacks and techniques, and tends to just generally boost his general power, speed, etc. for a short time. The downside is, with each chakram you unleash has repercussions upon your body. If you're using like the lower one or two chakrams, you can use relatively safely, but like you'll be deeply exhausted afterwards. But as you progress to like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you start taking your muscle fibers start tearing, your bones start shattering, you start experiencing excruciating agony. Like it will slowly start just destroying you. So it's a very do or die kind of set. The gates are do or die. You either use them and win, or you use them and die. And especially with his final gate, the 8th gate, which is literally a suicide technique. He activating it grants him a level of power way beyond most ninjas. And however, the downside is, it grants him like 100 times more power than normal. But The downside is after he finishes using it, his heart is beating so fast that it literally causes his body to disintegrate after using it. So that's the gist of all Might Guy's powers. Now, the different moves, however, when you actually start analyzing the feats of Might Guy, you realize that a lot of what, if he's going to stand a chance, they're going to have to scale him to a bunch of other characters.
That is kind of true. He hasn't really got any notable one sort of person feats. This is going to have to be like that whole Sasuke and Hai sort of situation.
Yeah, but even more so, because he's had like 2 or 3 major fights in the series.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of want to touch on something. Jaru brought up the Might Guy's ultimate move is like a suicide move, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to point out, we have had characters on Death Battle that do have a super powerful like move that is basically a suicide move, but they've still lost. Like, no one. Like, for instance, Gamera had his self-destruct thing, but Godzilla still won. The Terminator had those hydrogen fuel cells, still lost.
Sure.
So, I don't know, maybe if we're going by that pattern, it gives me some hope.
Okay, I do actually want to... Okay, this has nothing to do with Might Guy versus All Might. I need to correct you about the nitrogen fuel gas. That's not a suicide move. It's basically, oh, he's been damaged so much, he must ditch a piece of himself, otherwise it'll blow him up.
Well, he did use it as a suicide move at the end of the third movie.
He did use it to kill that Terminator bitch in the third film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about that film.
I thought it was a nifty film, personally.
Yeah, it's alright.
But anyway,
I
off topic.
thought it was okay, but Terminator 2 is still the best one ever.
Okay,
It is
enough
pretty
about
fantastic.
Terminator.
Anyway, but yeah, it's a curious question of if, like, one question we've discussed on Twitter is, if Might Guy uses the 8th seal, kills All Might, and then dies, who wins? Some people are saying Might Guy should win, since he killed All Might first, but I think it should count as a draw.
I don't think they'll even do that.
Yeah, I mean, if it happened, I think that should be a draw. Because, I mean, if you want to get technical, Koopa killed Goomba and then died, so...
I mean,
and it was a draw.
I mean, technically, the Goomba killed himself and all his friends.
Yeah,
well, because they're stupid. But the point is, technically, there is a precedent, even if it's from a goofy-ass episode a long time ago.
Yes.
But then again, Death Battle has changed a lot over the years, so maybe they'll count it as a win for All Might, or Might Guy, I don't know. But that raises the question, of course, of, do I actually think All Might Guy could beat All Might? And the more I look into it, the less inclined I am to think he can. For one, don't get me wrong, if All Might was to fight someone like fucking Naruto or Sasuke, he'd probably
then he'd be doomed.
almost.
Yes.
But that's not who he's fighting.
No.
Might Guy is nowhere near their power.
No.
He's
not even near. He's not even anywhere above Kakashi.
Man, I don't want to be on this podcast anymore. This is a bad
I'm
mistake.
sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, I'm actually kind of... Okay, if any viewers are actually feeling bad for me, don't. I'm just exaggerating.
Yes.
Okay.
I like Might Guy. He's one of my favorite characters, and if All Might does win, I will not be surprised, because All Might is fucking Jesus.
Yeah, well,
All Might is Jesus.
Well, of course, he literally died for our sins when, but
he's not dead.
Shut up.
Kind of. I mean,
yeah,
close enough.
Yeah, close enough. But no, I was also going to add the fact that the more gates that Guy uses, the more he's putting damage on his body, and the 8th gate literally killed him. I would have to say, because of that, I do think All Might has the better durability, because he's been able to, if they give him his time limit, and this is a big if, I don't think that should be something that automatically gives Might Guy the win, because All Might has exceeded his time limit before on many occasions by just sheer force of will alone. This is how he was able to defeat that big villain who had all of these different quirks in the My Hero Academia movie. It was how he was able to use what little of One for All he had left to defeat All for One. And
speaking of that, I had this vision of a way the fight could end if All Might wins.
Well, of course he's going to use the United States of Smash.
Yeah, but let's say Might Guy goes into that 8th Gates mode, and it looks like he's going to win, but then All Might starts charging him, pulls out United States of Smash, and the music goes all triumphant.
That would be amazing.
That would.
Stop getting my hopes up.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're putting so much on the composers for this episode.
If they managed to make this fight even a 10th as cool as that fight was with
They did say this is going to be their biggest 3D fight of Death Battle in general. Not just this season, just in general.
Wow, really?
Also, do you guys remember when we had Nick on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he spoke about the finale a little, but just gave, obviously he didn't say anything that was going to happen.
Yes.
But just gave us,
non-disclosures agreements and stuff.
Yes. Anyway, what are you saying?
I'm just saying, expect this to be an awesome fight.
Oh,
sure.
Okay. Yes.
Wait, is Nick, voicing one of the characters?
Yeah,
No.
Not in this episode, but he's voiced other. He was the voice actor from the previous episode.
Yeah, he was just telling us that from what he knew, undisclosed, this was going to be an awesome finale. And if what I've heard from Bill and from what I most likely will see next week from the preview of this fight, if all of that is to be believed, then I think that in that
it has the
area,
potential to be the best death battle ever.
Yes, agreed. And I also agree. If they can make the ending even a fraction of a bit emotional, like a My Hero Academia episode with All Might, then right there, the emotions for this episode will already be top tier. This will be god-level tier in terms of death battles that makes you be able to feel something, be like, fuck yeah.
Although, in Jaru's case, it'll probably be rated 5 out of 10.
What?
Wow.
I don't rate any death battle 5 out of 10 except Full Gore versus Sector.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, in tier list, he'll probably give it a C.
I'm
He's
not nearly as
best
good.
episode, but let's give it a C.
Slander.
Slander.
You're slandering my guy.
Yeah.
I am being pretty terrible. But
that's what makes you Jaru.
But back to All Might, or back to these characters. One thing I know they're going to do is in order to help figure out their capabilities, because we don't know much about All Might's peak power levels, and we don't know much about the exact scale of Might Guy's abilities either, because he's not really a very present character. So what I'm certain they're going to do is they're going to do some scaling to Deku and Rock Lee in order to help figure out how powerful.
I'd say that would
makes sense, actually.
Yeah,
that would
because
actually be fitting.
well, also too, you could also throw Gran Torino in there too, because he was the second person who trained All Might in his prime.
That's true. And we know that All Might's way faster than Gran Torino, and Gran Torino's fucking fast.
Yeah.
I like your scientific tone. He's fucking fast.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
In scientific terms, he's fast as fuck.
I really want a scientist to say that when they're testing out a new jet plane.
If they're going to scale, which I think Jaru hit the nail on the head, it is possible, and most likely they're going to do that. Then the question just becomes, who is better in terms of scaling, Rock Lee or Deku?
Well, here's the thing. I haven't seen Deku's feat since Season 4. And I know that by the end of Season 4, he's going to do some crazy fucking shit.
Yes.
But regarding, honestly, it's funny, because I actually think All Might gets more... I think the only really impressive feat that Deku gives to All Might would probably be his assistance with the steel cube in the movie.
Yes, I agree.
But whereas with Might Guy, I think Rock Lee gives him a few interesting, impressive feats. At one point during, I want to say it was the movie. I think I'm not entirely sure if this is true. It's been a minute. And I think some people might be attributing the feat to someone else. But Rock Lee, was destroyed like a meteor, or some big chunk of rock. Now, some people were mistakenly saying that Rock Lee destroyed one of the meteors that were of the same type that Madara dropped, the kind that Sasuke destroyed.
Yes.
That is not the case. That was a totally different meteor. The one that they're talking about comes from the Moon movie, where some meteorites are falling to the planet, and the ninjas are having to destroy them to protect the village. However, the only clip I've seen showing the supposed meteor, or the only picture, like the feat on the Versus Battle Wiki, the picture they show is of a meteor that Sasuke destroys in that movie. So I'm not entirely sure if those people actually know what they're talking about. But yeah, so if Rock Lee has been in a fair number of fights, he has some impressive feats. However, when I was reading like the level of superhuman feats that Might Guy gets whenever he uses the different gates, like at first I was like, wow, these are some impressive stuff. But then I actually started watching the fight, and I was like, Like, for example, the Morning Peacock, in which I don't know which gate that is. Is it like 5th gate or 6th gate? Does anyone know?
I don't know. I don't watch Naruto.
Well,
Bill,
Oh
you've been defending my guy. Do you know?
I forget which
Sorry,
one.
say it again. Your mic cut out.
Oh, do you know which one the Morning Peacock is? Which gate?
I can't actually really remember because I have to admit I haven't really watched any of the older Naruto's for a long time.
It happens actually pretty late on in Naruto Shippuden when he uses it. He uses it to defeat the shark guy.
Yeah.
Or well,
that's...
actually, he ended up having to use a gate higher than that. But anyway, point is, Morning Peacock is one of his higher gates. Like I want to say 5 or 6. And,
it is. It's probably one of his most powerful.
It consists of him punching like a whole bunch, and he punches so hard that his fist catches fire, and he punches a bunch of flaming projectiles and he punches so much that he makes like a wave of fire that looks like the feathers of a peacock, and that's why it's called the Morning Peacock.
That's why you should all love Might Guy.
Yeah, he's great. Don't get me wrong. However, it's like as cool as that is. As someone who's calculated many feats of things moving so fast they catch fire, it's not that hard, sadly.
No, but to be fair though, this is a move that has managed to stun a tailed beast. And given how powerful those creatures are, like nearly destroying like a moon and etc.
Yeah, sure. Well, if he used it to nullify like a tailed beast bomb, that'd be crazy. But thing is, if just the feat of punching hard enough to set your fist on fire, that only requires like Mach 5 speeds. So
true.
Whereas All Might,
so for an ultimate move.
Yeah, I mean, All Might's United States of Smash caused a huge hurricane that blew away Gran Torino, a helicopter, and lifted up small chunks of buildings. And
Did it
not
blow?
just small chunks.
Wait.
It ripped up entire concrete buildings out of the ground.
Yes, and it left a huge ass content. It almost looked like a meteor had struck that area.
Also, I just thought of this. Did the shockwave move any clouds?
Well,
What?
hold on.
Because remember how powerful that is?
Yes, but
don't worry, I'll be getting to that.
okay.
But just so people know, as far as creating a tornado powerful enough to rip concrete buildings out of the ground and then lift them into the air, that's fucking impossible. No natural tornado is anywhere near powerful enough to rip concrete buildings out of the ground and throw them. That requires insane amount of power, and he created that as a side effect of his punch.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even the end goal of the punch.
No, that was just something that happened after he punched All for One.
Yeah. But getting back to Mike, guys, so Morning Peacock, not as crazy as you'd prefer. But one of the ones he does after, it's like the lion. It's something lion. And basically,
it's not called lion. It's daytime tiger.
Oh, that tiger. And that one just consists of him punching one time so hard and then like he like makes like a little like finger picture with his hands,
Yeah.
and that
It's a great
somehow shapes the shockwave to make it look like it has a tiger's head. It makes no fucking sense.
It's amazing, though. You can't
It is
deny
amazing.
that.
It is, yeah. But it's literally just him punching so hard that he creates a shockwave.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and no, it's very impressive. Like he punches so hard that he creates like a pressurized cannon blast of air that like took out one of the most powerful like ninjas that we've like in the series. Like he was one of the top Akatsuki members, and it took him out. It was an impressive. It tore the dude's arms off. Like it was impressive.
So when we get to his like sort of semi-final attack, I do want to talk about that because I think this might guarantee his winning.
All right,
But let's
so
first
this
go
move
on
was
to this
very impressive.
technique, the evening elephant. What do you have to say about that, boy?
The Evening Elephant, despite popular, I thought that Evening Elephant was the 7th gate. It's not. It turns out it's one of the 8th gates of the text.
Okay, that I actually did not know.
I mean, I might be reading the wiki wrong, and the wiki might be wrong, but
Yeah, I wouldn't use the wiki.
And also, what I remember from the fight itself, because I watched the clip recently just to refresh myself, he activated the 8th gate and then used Evening Elephant followed by Night Guy.
Yeah, that's actually the move I want to talk about once we talk about this one.
Now, Evening Elephant is crazy because it literally just the Morning Lion one or Morning Tiger. That one was, he punched really hard and made like pressurized air cannon blast. Well, Evening Elephant is that over and over again. Like 5 strikes of pressurized air that could like carve out a massive chunk of the ground with the strike. It's like,
definitely a powerful move, and I remember seeing it first time as a kid and being like, "Wow, that's amazing!"
Oh yeah, I it's insane.
As a naive kid, I used to assume that was the most powerful character in fiction. Boy, was I wrong when I got older.
He's as powerful as you want to believe he is.
You gotta believe.
Exactly. But yeah, so like just
believe it.
I'd have to do the math. But I know for a fact that feat alone, Evening Elephant alone, is already dishing out some insane amount of power because it carved out a huge like underground tunnel when it hit Madara.
See, at the beginning, you guys were mocking him. Look at him; he's a boss.
Yeah, and to his credit, he was able to fight on par with Madara at least once he activated the 8th gate, to a degree that like Madara himself said was unmatched. No one else had impressed him to the same degree.
But notice how he said once he activated the 8th gate.
Okay,
yes.
Fair enough.
Before that, but that's still impressive because that means he was more powerful than like the 5 Kage who had been fighting Madara earlier, who fighting together were a joke compared to Madara. And like the 5 Kage working together were barely able to stop one of Madara's meteors. And by stop, I don't mean destroy. I mean stop it from falling. And then Madara dropped another meteor on top of that meteor because he's a boss. But I digress. Point is, like, theoretically, if Micah is even more impressive than the 5 Kage stopping that meteor, then that's pretty impressive. Like, I'm certain that once the math comes out, we're going to find out he's, like, crazy powerful. Like, could destroy a city. Like, I'm certain that
Micah is powerful enough. As a lot of those community would put, I think Mike Guy is sort of said to be multi-town level, which I'm not sure if that's true. I think that's kind of selling them short.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like he could do much more damage. If he was like, I don't know, bloody a psychopath and he wanted to cause more destruction, he could do way more than destroy multiple towns.
With his 8th gate, yes, he could, but I feel like he's not Sasuke or Naruto level.
No, of course,
because,
especially at the current
it's worth
state.
noting. It's worth noting that even with the 8th gate, like, all it let him do was fight on par with Madara for a little while, and then it ran out, and Madara was still standing.
Well, I mean, Madara's not a person you mess with. I mean,
No,
Pretty
Madara is one of the
powerful.
most powerful characters in the entire series.
Yeah, you don't fuck
straight
with Madara.
So, like, but
And
that's the
that fucks
thing,
with you.
is that ultimately it's going to be a case of how do you scale him to Madara or to other characters. It's like, in order to figure out exactly how powerful some of All Might's or Might Guy's abilities are, it's going to require some scaling that requires, and what you're ultimately going to come up with is debatable.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, I always sometimes have a problem when it comes to scaling characters. Like, don't get me wrong, some characters need it because you don't know how powerful those characters are, aside from things that have been quoted by other characters, which isn't really enough for like a verse debate like Death Battle. So I guess scaling them to people he's for or characters he's on par with, and scaling to them to the people they fought. But sometimes they can be a bit skeptical. Sometimes those characters have fought someone way beyond that character's level, and yet that character can't beat that character.
Yeah, like
that's kind of my issue with it.
For example, Kakashi is.
Oh, we all struggle to say that name.
Kakashi is known as the ninja who is able to react quick enough to split a lightning bolt. So reaction speeds in the Mach 200 range. And Might Guy is most certainly on par with Kakashi as they are rivals. So it's safe to say that Might Guy is capable of some lightning speed reactions.
Well, I mean,
I know where this is going.
Well, I mean, do you know? We'll get to that point later. Carry on.
And of course, whether they end up scaling them.
I just want to point out this episode has been going for almost an hour and a half.
Okay.
Alright.
I still got one or two things I want to say.
I know.
Okay. But yeah, so whether they end up scaling them to Naruto and Sasuke and say he's light speed, I'm questionable. I'm not sure that. I don't know if that makes sense or is legitimate.
It's fair to assume he could move at that speed.
But even then, really, it was a light speed reaction speed feed. It wasn't actual like movement speed.
No, that's what I mean. Like, he's obviously not the Flash.
Now,
Nice.
another wow. Now, so don't get me wrong, my guy's impressive. He has some impressive attacks, techniques, power. I'm certain he could wipe out a city if he wanted to. Possibly more. I am not convinced he's really in the upper echelon of Naruto characters, though.
No. I mean,
even in his fight with Madara,
like if he somehow didn't get crippled, I guarantee he would have been super powerful.
Well, not only that, I feel like if you were to take out All Might's fights with Nomu, that character from the movie, and All for One, and you just replace him with Might Guy, there would be only so much Might Guy could do that he would have to rely on his 8th Gate to even come close to maybe defeating those characters, or at least getting, a good couple of hits on them.
Well, there is this one technique called Night Guy.
Yeah. His ultimate final super duper technique, which he uses and then dies, is called.
Okay, yeah, but to be clear though, this when he does go into this sort of form, it doesn't instantly kill him. It does leave him alive for a bit.
Yeah,
well,
it's just.
You say that.
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Well,
he kicked Madara, fell to the ground, and started disintegrating.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but he was moving so fast, he was disorienting, not time and space, just space.
Yeah,
What?
that is something to note, is that it does
Yes.
specifically describe that when Might Guy uses Night Guy, is power, like, it somehow warps the fabric of space.
Like that's how he's moving so fast. He's doing that. That's nothing to do with chakra. Just his speed was enough to do that.
Okay, well, see,
And-
that's where, and that may be why people say, in terms of speed, my guy may have All Might beat, but
If he hits All Might with that, All Might is dead. He's not
okay,
debatable.
Well, debatable, yeah, because All Might.
debatable my left butt.
No, not debatable. Your left.
I
butt,
haven't even
because-
stared talking about Might Guy or All
Yeah.
Might yet.
Yeah, well, no, it's like I think. Well, see, that's the thing. Unfortunately, since we can't go over 2 hours, because I know that's a lot of editing for Mark. I think.
Okay.
Oh, now you're concerned about all the editing.
I've been concerned.
You've not really said much.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, no. To be fair, okay. All Might has been in near-death situations. I would say more than Might Guy, because All Might had to fight a guy, a superpowered being that was created to fight him and all he could do was just absorb All Might's attacks, but he couldn't, counter them. He would just take the punches. And then when you go to All For One literally said...
I just want to point out All Might's strategy for beating that thing. Just because you're resistant to this doesn't mean you're immune. You have a limit.
Exactly.
So just punch it over and over and over and over and over and over and over until he gets it.
I figured it out. You just have to punch them really hard.
Real hard. That sounds like something my dad would say.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then when he fought All For One literally said that the punch he was powering up with all these different quirks, he said, I knew my attacks before weren't going to kill you, but this will. And he punches him, and all it does to All Might is just, bruise and break some bones in his arm, but then he uses the other arm to fight him. He's
pretty resistant.
Both characters are very pain resilient. Just using any of the gates requires extreme pain resilience. So both characters can
exactly.
But if I'm going to say one thing, though, there's some FTL reaction speed feats that I could bring up for, My Academia. People don't like to acknowledge it, but Naval Laser Guy's laser is a laser made of light.
Yes.
And lesser characters have dodged it.
I've heard some contention about that, though.
Yeah, by stupid people. Now, just
what
kidding.
Was it you said at the...
I don't insult anyone. What are you talking about? No,
you're mad.
I just got very frustrated with an argument.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But no.
Point is, it's confirmed to be light, so it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say about it.
No.
It's light.
Yes.
But even if we ignore that, many of the feats that All Might achieves and all of them actually, are basic-ass kinetic energy equations. He is punching really hard and really fast, and it creates shockwaves and shit. And if you just measure the kinetic energy of those things and put in his weight, you can figure out how fast he'd have to be punching to achieve those feats. And there's only really one feat I have to bring up to show just how ungodly powerful All Might is, which would be his very first feat on camera ever, which was his punch against the sludge villain.
Yes.
He punched so hard that he created a tornado and changed the weather. And to explain exactly what that means, in an overhead shot earlier in that same scene, you see that while there are some clouds here and there, not a lot. After the punch, it is across the sky storm clouds. Meaning that when All Might punched, he punched so hard that it created a vacuum that sucked in clouds for miles. And the characters then comment, holy cow, he changed the weather with a punch. And just so you know, the amount of clouds that were pulled in were way more than the clouds that Mob pulled in for his feat. And
that's what I was asking about.
Gigatons feat. So even if we lowball this and say the feat is only as impressive as Mob's feat, so, like 25 gigatons of TNT, in order to reach that level of speed, or that level of power with just a punch, All Might would have to be punching over 3 times the speed of light.
Yeah, so, and he did it so casually, too. It wasn't even a big deal to him.
It was his basic-ass Detroit smash.
Yeah, and that's his basic one. Like, I mean, even if you go into the first movie, like when he's in his prime, he's able to punch away missiles. No, go. I'm done.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I just also wanted to point out that All Might also loves to hold back, because if there's civilians nearby and he goes all out, he won't endanger them with his attacks.
Yes.
So
they're taking that away.
So, like for example, at one point in the training exercise, the final exam, when he fought Deku and Bakugo, he punched so hard that it tore steel bridges to pieces. It wrecked a huge chunk of a city just with the punch, just the shockwave of the punch. And that was him actually trying. That didn't happen with the punch that he threw at the sludge villain. So just to show, All Might holds back a lot in order to
and also
damage.
When he fought Bakugo and Deku, him and the other teachers had to wear restraining bracelets to hold back their powers so that they
Yeah.
wouldn't kill these kids.
Yeah. So, and that's just one of his most basic feats. And in saying it's only 25 gigatons is an understatement because he changed the weather for miles and miles and miles.
Yes.
So,
when he holds back,
I'm pretty sure that feat alone.
I gotta say, this is giving me hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not giving me hope.
Well, okay.
This has been torture.
I have
Sorry.
Bill, I have a curse I want dead.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want your
So.
curse to remain as long as my guy lives.
So to pour salt in the wounds to Bill, whenever All Might holds back, quote unquote, stuff like punching the ground and creating a tornado, and to change the weather is just a basic move that he doesn't have to try that hard to do. But when he goes all out, he can literally create a tornado that blows people
Yeah, but
away.
my guy can distort space. by
It
going
doesn't
all
matter
out.
if you could distort space. The fact that he created a tornado that blew people away and lifted up buildings off of the ground, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
I'm pretty
You
sure
are-
distorting space is more impressive than that.
Well, here's the thing: how fast do you have to go to distort space?
I don't know. I'm not a math genius.
Oh my, yeah.
And here's the thing: I don't think anyone actually has an answer to that because
Exactly.
it's impossible.
Now here's my answer. It's 88 miles an hour. Oh wait, that's travels through time. Never mind.
Yeah, that's warping time, not space. Yeah. So like, maybe warping space means he's moving as fast as light. Maybe that's what it means.
Yeah.
Well,
That
he's
makes
definitely
sense.
got to be moving beyond that if he's warping space.
Well, not necessarily, because no one knows how fast you have to go to warp space. Nothing warps space except like black holes and shit.
Yeah,
So-
and that would be pretty, that would be pretty, superfluous. I can't even talk. That would be pretty
Think, child,
dubious.
before you speak.
Shut up. That would be pretty dubious to think that,
Yeah.
my
It's
guy...
like that thing with
Yeah.
like whatchamacallit, because like he warps space, he's moving so fast, but then he kicks Madara and Madara flies backwards and impacts that
dies.
giant. Well, he doesn't.
Okay.
Well, Madara flies back and hits the tree that he grew. There's a giant tree, and craters the tree, but the tree's still standing. And I'm just thinking, how impressive could the attack be if it didn't even destroy the tree?
Oh, the tree
Yeah.
is not just a normal tree, it's magic.
Well,
Sure.
it doesn't matter if it's
It's ninja magic.
or not.
Sure,
No,
but,
okay,
like-
bullshit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
Hour 40.
Okay.
Do you think
We're
we should be
going-
wrapping it?
We're going.
that's my piece. Is like, I think that they're gonna give us a good show. They might give All Might. I think that I am more. I want to say All Might is gonna win, but ultimately,
with
I
All
think
Might.
it is more likely. I think All Might winning or it being a draw are both together more likely than Might Guy outright winning.
Yes, because again, I don't believe Death Battle or the researchers are going to give into speculations and word of mouth that has been said by the characters or everyone who makes these assumptions. Not you, Bill.
Screw you.
No, I'm saying not you, as in you're not like those people because
Oh, thank
you're a reasonable Naruto fan.
Well, I mean, I'm the best verse debater there is.
That's
Yeah.
true, you are. But
Even though I've read it. I think this is probably the first actual debate I've gotten in with Jaru.
okay, well, congratulations.
And maybe my bias is making me give All Might way too much credit,
Well,
and Might Guy
yeah.
way too little credit. Maybe Might Guy can destroy moons, and he can move
Yeah,
this
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
100 times the speed of light. And
I'm
he's
raising
God.
my hand as
Like,
well. I'm probably completely biased on my guy. I'm pretty sure when the episode comes out, I'm going to look at
Yeah,
All
you're
Might
gonna
and
be
like, okay, yeah, I could. It makes sense why All Might won. Might Guy is not as impressive as I remember.
No, just take.
My
just
childhood
take-
innocence will die after
If
this
you're going
episode.
if you're going to take anything away from this episode on who would win, just keep in mind it's a magic ninja versus a superhero.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that does not clarify anything.
It does.
You sound like that person who said the only reason like Tatsumaki won against Mob is because she's a superhero and Mob's a student.
That was a factor, but it was a minor factor.
What do you want me to how can I clarify what All Might is? What else can I call him?
You could have said like All Might is like
okay, fine,
crazy
Japanese
powerful in physical
Superman.
strength, whereas Might Guy is just super fast.
Okay, fine.
They're both.
That's better.
Long story short, they're both awesome characters. It's gonna be
Yeah.
kind of sad.
Yeah.
The fact that one of them has to die is really sad.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's sad that either one of them would have to die. Like, that's sad.
Because I will admit, while I may not be a Naruto fan anymore, I did enjoy Might Guy, and it will kind of hurt a little seeing him have to die, and Rock Lee having to get a new teacher. But I'm excited to see the voice acting. I'm excited to see the music. I'm hoping the emotion can be on par with the My Hero Academia.
Who the voices are going to be for the characters?
I don't think they
Not
have
yet.
I'm hoping the All Might will be voiced by Takako 101.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Well, okay, then
because
okay.
Takahara is who voices All Might in Something Witty Entertainment's My Hero Academia Abridged.
Huh, I did not know that.
Let me just say, I haven't heard his take, but it couldn't be worse than Christopher Sabat.
Oh!
Oh, come on, Chris Sabat is good.
Okay,
I think he's great at doing Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah, in season 1 of My Hero, he was good, but then after that,
listen to his Plus Ultra, man. It sounds so epic.
It was epic, Jaru. His United States of Smash was not as good. But it was
his
still...
Plus Ultra at the end of season 1 was the only good moment for his entire his entire portrayal of the character. Everything else is bad or mediocre.
I went from defending Might Guy to now defending All Might.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations.
Conflicting messages.
That's how annoying and arrogant my opinions are. Anything I say makes you want to argue with me.
I'm hoping that they can live up to that great personality All Might has, and I'm hoping the composers give us one fucking epic track, because god dang it, we need an epic track for the season finale, and if you can't give us that, then you failed.
They've got a high bar to come to.
Wings of,
I don't care if you have to get Omega. I don't care if you have to get Omega Sparks to get in collaboration with this. You give me a goddamn perfect season finale track, damn it.
Yeah, it needs to be like, because like, if My Hero Academia has some of the best music, like it's so good.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, they have a big part of why. Shut the fuck up, Bill. Yeah, a big part of why. A big part of why I enjoy it so much is that the music lends itself to the emotional scenes really well. So I do have high hopes. I have a lot of high hopes for this match.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping.
And this season has been a season of disappointment for me. So in that sense, I expect All Might will lose, because that's just how the season is going.
Don't you
I think this whole
like
time
that,
you defended All Might, saying he would win.
I want him to win. I think he should win.
I know and think he is gonna win.
Ganon already lost, so I've already my enjoyment of Death Battle has already decreased by like 50%. So.
Oh God!
But anyway,
yeah,
I look forward to it. I think it's gonna be. I hope it's fun. I hope All Might wins. But
yes.
Deadpool versus the Mask sucked, and I think that's about the summary of my thoughts.
Deadpool versus the Mask was awesome. If my review is out now, finally, so go watch it. I'm excited. I think All Might versus Might Guy could live up to the hype it's building. At least I hope so. And I know All Might's gonna kick Might Guy's ass and make Rock Lee and take Rock Lee in as his student.
I won't lie. When we were mentioning like what Might Guy and All Might are like now, it just makes me image of them being like Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man, like just being in retired houses.
Oh Jesus!
I don't know. And Deku goes, "There's evil for Might Guy." All Might's like, "Evil,
evil."
I want to see that animated now.
Me too. I'm excited for it, and I'm hoping it'll and I'm hoping it'll stand amongst the 2 great season finales. Wait, sorry, 3. So those are my thoughts.
You know, I had this thing that I wanted to do, but I'm looking at how long we've been going on for, and I'm not sure if I can.
Aw.
Well, just try.
Nah, I think I'll save it for the finale.
That's probably best.
Okay.
To be honest, it's probably it's a good thing I already said my favorite, least favorite, and most wanted death battle in the last episode, because I don't even think if this was my first episode, I'd have time to say it.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, let's end it.
Okay, so, who wants to do their outro first?
Me! If you enjoyed, then please go over to my channel, subscribe, and look forward to some great content, because I'm here!
That was the worst impersonation ever.
Fuck you!
Out of history shots. Oh wait, are we doing outros? I wasn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're doing outros.
Tuned out. Fuck. What's my outro?
So, like, if you got something to say.
Oh, that's right.
You're worse than
Like
me and
if you-
Max.
Wow, you interrupted me.
Shut Go.
Like if you enjoyed the video, comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, have a fantastic day.
Alright, Billy.
No, you do your outro first.
No, mine's got to be last, remember?
Oh, fuck you. That's my outro.
Fuck you.
Okay.
10
then.
out of 10.
Okay, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, please like and subscribe. If you're interested in more discussions like this that feature me, look up Max and Mate. We discuss Ruby, and Volume 7 is going right now, so that's a thing that's happening too. And because I know I normally don't do my video outros for these, I'm making an exception because I didn't do a reaction to Mars vs. Deadpool. So, at the end of it will be my Weiss outro. Bye.
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 Thank you for watching Your Only Mate. Tune in next time.